Hey, thanks for joining me. I'm Jennifer Youngblood. This is my very first ever YouTube Live. I have to admit, I'm a little bit nervous, but excited too. It's been so nice to see the comments popping up, and I'll be looking for those because the first 5 people who comment are going to win a copy of Kisses Over Candlelight. I'll be reading the first chapter today. And I see someone has already commented. Stephanie said she's so excited. You will win a copy of Kisses Over Candlelight. So I'll be sending those out. And if you are on my newsletter list and you signed up to participate in this event, then I already have your email address. But if not, then maybe send me a message so that I can know where to send your ebook. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me tell you, oh, here's someone else. Jan, this is Jan. And then, okay, my wonderful son is helping me with all the tech. He's my tech guru. And he said, just calm down and just wait and just look at all the comments and have a chance, because I get so excited and nervous. But anyway, it's wonderful to see so many of you responding and so many of you commenting. And Austin, my son, is going to let me know the ones that are going to be winning the ebook copies. Austin, do we have the first 5 comments already?
We have a lot coming through.
Okay, so I'd like to announce the first 5 before I start reading. So while he's getting those together, let me just tell you a little bit about this book. This is the first book in my Almost an Angel series, and when I first brainstormed this book, I had the envision, I really loved Highway to Heaven. I don't know if y'all remember that, but it starred Michael Landon, and it's just a wonderful, clean, uplifting show, and I loved the interaction with him being, an angel. And so anyway, this story is about Gracie, and she's an almost angel, and she's trying to become an angel. And it's funny to see all the things that happen to her. She's, you'll soon learn, she's very whimsical, she's kind of off the wall, and she gets the task of becoming a relationship expert. And as the books progress, you'll find out why that this may not be quite in her wheelhouse, but it's fun to kind of see her and all the things that she's doing. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I see someone here that popped up that said, Mara said that we watched Highway to Heaven every week. Yes, I watched it all the time too and absolutely loved it. And so that's kind of what I thought about when I was writing this. And I had also wanted to do episodes. So I wanted every episode to be about Gracie and how she helps someone. So that was kind of the idea for the series. But I'm going to go ahead. Austin is still tallying the first 5 comments, and so maybe I had thought we would do those at the beginning, but we'll be flexible and maybe we'll give him a little bit more time to do that. And then I'm going to go ahead and start reading. So here we go. Oh, and I wanted to, you can see I have to have my little reading glasses here. My eyes aren't what they used to be. Let me just really quick, I forgot to say this, give you a disclaimer here that I am not a narrator by any stretch of the imagination. When you hear me read, you'll know why I say that. I'm going to try the best I can to differentiate between the voices, but just go easy on me because, I kind of, my comfort zone is behind the computer. But it's fun, and I enjoy doing new things, and mostly I'm really enjoying connecting with you in real time. So here we go. Chapter 1. She was floating, drifting without a care in the world. It was the feeling of being caught up in a glorious dream where time and space were irrelevant. Wow! This is incredible, Gracie sighed contentedly, not wanting to wake up. But her eyes seemed to have a mind of their own as they popped open. She glanced around, expecting to see the familiar surroundings of her bedroom, but then realized with a jolt that her favorite overstuffed chair and other comfy furnishings had been replaced with a metal chair, nondescript walls, and some sort of medical device. There was a solid red line going across the screen, and this annoying beeping kept wailing like an opera singer who'd gotten stuck on the same note. Her mind whirled in confusion as she realized that she was hovering in midair, her back pressed against the ceiling. Then she noticed that the room was full of people gathered around a hospital table, frantically working to revive someone, a woman. She looked down, only mildly curious about whom the person could be. She was too busy enjoying being weightless and the carefree feeling that had overtaken her. All of her problems seemed obsolete, and she felt free and unencumbered. A happy balloon sailing in the air. Something about the scene below drew her attention, and she realized that the people scurrying about were doctors and nurses. Their faces were pinched and drawn. She wondered why they were all so sad. The doctor, a middle-aged man with graying temples, shook his head. "We've done all we can do." There was a note of finality in his voice as his hands fell limp to his side. A nurse nodded and began pulling a sheet over the woman's head. It was only then that Gracie caught a glimpse of the lifeless girl on the table. A soundless scream wrenched from her throat as she recognized the face. It was her! In the next second, a curious numbness settled over her. She had heard of near-death experiences, but this was really freaky. This was like something off the Sci-Fi Channel. As her mind tried to grapple with what was happening, she realized that if it had been a near-death experience, then she wouldn't still be floating up here. The doctors and nurses left the room, leaving only the still figure on the hospital bed, covered with a sheet. That couldn't possibly be her. It was strange. She didn't feel anything. Shouldn't she feel sad or something? The room faded away and whiteness took its place until she was standing in a building so large that the space seemed to be endless. She looked up but couldn't see the ceiling, as if it extended up forever. Then she saw it, the shimmering door in the distance. It was gleaming white with dazzling light streaming from underneath it. It was so bright that it almost hurt her eyes to look at it. Warmth filled her breast, and she felt a burst of exultation. Somehow, in a way she couldn't fully comprehend, she knew that everything she'd ever wanted was just beyond that door. It was the feeling of home, comfort, and love all rolled into one. She began making her way to the door, and then she was running. It took her a moment to realize that no matter how many steps she took towards it, the door seemed to be growing farther away. What in the heck was happening? Panic gripped her. The door was impossible to reach. She felt a hand on her arm. "Hello," a woman said in a brisk voice. "I've been looking for you." Gracie turned, annoyed that someone was detaining her from her objective. "I'm sorry. I have to reach the door," she mumbled, looking towards it. To her dismay, it was growing farther and farther away. "Gracie, look at me." It was more of a command than a request. She turned. "You know my name?" she said, more to herself than to the woman. "I know everything about you." Gracie gave her a doubtful look. Then she took a good look at the woman. It only took her a second to determine that she'd never before laid eyes on her. She was older, late 60s maybe, with still gray hair that was bone straight and cut in a severe bob that came to her angular jaw. She was wearing pink cat-eyed glasses, the retro kind, worn in the 50s. Her face was devoid of a single speck of makeup, and she had on a gray business suit and sensible black flats. Tall and thin, she had a rather stern expression on her face as she looked Gracie up and down. "We must do something about your clothes." "My clothes?" Gracie looked down and realized that she was wearing a hospital gown. Her cheeks went warm as she self-consciously rubbed her hands over the gown. "Oh, I didn't realize." The woman waved her hand. To Gracie's amazement, the gown changed to a pair of pleated white slacks and a white cable knit sweater. Certainly not the outfit Gracie would have chosen, but beggars couldn't be choosers. "Wow, that was incredible!" She shook her head, not fully comprehending all that was occurring. "Is this heaven? I'm dead, aren't I?" A hint of amusement crossed the woman's features. "Yes." "Okay, this was some doozy of a dream. Time to wake up now." Gracie pinched her arm and winced. "Ouch!" The woman was eyeing her with compassion. "It's no dream." In those 3 words, it all came together in a sucker punch that nearly took Gracie's breath away. Hot prickles covered her as a sweat broke across her forehead. Her chest felt like someone was squeezing it to the size of a potato. "Oh my gosh, this can't be happening. I'm dead." Tears sprang to her eyes, and then everything started to spin. "I can't be dead. I have so much left to do. I'm too young to die," she wailed. It became hard to breathe. Her legs gave way, and she toppled backwards, her hands clutching for something to hold on to, but finding only air. To her surprise, she landed on something soft. She looked down. A chair? Where in the heck had it come from? It certainly hadn't been there before. She fought to understand what was happening. The chair had appeared out of thin air. The woman seemed to be reading her mind. I know this is a lot to take in. Panicking won't do you an ounce of good. Take deep breaths. I promise I'll explain everything. All Gracie could manage to do was nod, tears streaming down her cheeks. The woman waved her hand. Another chair appeared, and she sat down. My name is Gertrude Benedict. You are an angel in training, and I am your mentor or guide. A hysterical laugh bubbled in Gracie's throat. Angel in training? Was the woman for real? She shook her head. You're telling me that I'm an angel? Gertrude held up a finger. Almost. You're almost an angel. You have many things to learn and much work to do before you can become a real angel. Okay, and what happens after I become a real angel? Do I get a set of wings and a heart that I can sit around and strum? The comment came out sounding catty, but she was beyond the point of caring. This whole thing was starting to tick her off. How could she be dead? It wasn't fair. She didn't give a flying flip about becoming an angel. She wanted her life back. She wanted to live. Gertrude gave her a censoring look. No one has wings up here. That's only for the movies. She looked thoughtful. I suppose I could get you a heart, if you really want one. She peered over her glasses. Although, from what I've read in your file, you don't seem like the musical type. Gracie's eyes went large. My file? I have a file? This was getting crazier by the minute. Yes, everyone does. Some call it the Book of Life, but a file seems more fitting. Where is this file? She demanded. Gertrude reached in her pocket and pulled out a clear device that was roughly the size of a paperback book, but it was almost as thin as a sheet of paper. You use iPads up here? No, it's not an iPad, she laughed. We would never use anything that archaic. Put simply, it's an instruction manual. Your guidebook or instrument for becoming an angel. Angel 101, if you will. She held it out. This one is for you. And in it, you'll find all the rules along with pertinent information about each assignment. Gracie just sat there. Go ahead, take it, Gertrude prompted. Reluctantly, Gracie reached for it. It was ultra lightweight. What did you mean by assignments? The people you're going to help. I'm sorry, Gracie said, shaking her head. I'm afraid I don't understand a thing you're saying. Tears pressed against her eye sockets. All she wanted to do was wake up from this nightmare. Gertrude sighed. As I said, you are an angel in training. You will be given various people to help. Gracie thought about this for a minute. People to help, huh? Well, what if I don't want to help anyone? She waved a hand. I mean, this is heaven, isn't it? Why can't I just do whatever I want to? You young recruits are always so impertinent, she snapped. Youth. Why can't anyone simply do good deeds because it's the right thing to do? Gracie crossed her arms over her chest and eyed Gertrude. Sorry, you'll have to do better than that. I just died today, and I'm not too happy about it. If you want me to do these assignments, she made air quotes, then I need to know why. She rolled her eyes. So you can progress to the next level. She gave her a smug look. You want to find out what's behind that door you were so eager to get to, don't you? Gracie's head popped up. All of the longing came rushing back with a vengeance that she could scarcely control. Yes, she said quietly. Very good. Then you'll first need to complete the assignments I give you. How many of them? A look of frustration registered on Gertrude's face. As many as it takes. Gracie mulled over the situation. Maybe being an angel wasn't such a raw deal after all. She could help a few people and then be on her way. Even though she didn't know what lay beyond it, something told her that she had to get to that door. If being an angel were the first step, then so be it. Fine, I'll do it. Gertrude looked relieved. She leaned forward. So, what will I be doing? Saving the world from a nuclear meltdown or finding the cure for cancer? Even though she was trying to play it cool, there was a twinge of excitement creeping into her voice. Who would have thought that she would end up doing something important? If only her mother could see her now, she wouldn't think she'd been such a failure after all. Gertrude tucked a strand of hair behind her ear. No, not exactly. You're what I like to call a relationship mender. A what? You help fix relationships. She frowned. Well, what kind of relationships? The romantic kind. Gertrude pointed to herself. Gracie pointed to herself. Me? Gertrude rolled her eyes. Yes, and you will not only mend relationships, but you will help others find true love. She started laughing. Yeah, right. That's a good one. Now tell me what I'm really doing. A furrow appeared between Gertrude's brows. That's what you'll be doing. If you're giving me that assignment, then you obviously don't know as much about me as you thought you did, she said dryly. Your full name is Gracie Louise Andrews. You grew up in the small town of Scottsboro, Alabama. After you graduated from high school, you attended the University of Alabama for a couple of years and then decided that you'd had enough of the academic world. You dropped out and went to Los Angeles to pursue an acting career. You've spent the last 3 years trying to get a foot in the door. You've worked a series of odd jobs. Let's see, receptionist, call center rep, substitute teacher, and most recently, a server in a restaurant. You were engaged to one Christopher Stevens, and you were killed when you... Enough! Gracie held up a hand, her lips tight with anger. I've heard enough. I don't need the events of my life spelled out for me to know that I was a dismal failure. I get the point. A tear slipped out. Compassion filled Gertrude's eyes. We all have our own list of regrets, she said kindly. You have a chance to learn a few things and to help others. It really is an awesome responsibility. But why can't I do something important like cure world hunger? I wouldn't think the man upstairs would be that concerned with piddly relationships. Gertrude was amused. You don't think relationships are important? She shrugged. I mean, I guess they're important, but not as important as curing world hunger. She could tell from the peeved look on Gertrude's face that she had said the wrong thing. I'll have you know that relationships make up the foundation of human existence. The relationship between a man and woman is the purest and most sacred expression of love. Devoted husbands and wives rear happy and productive children. Families are the central part of God's creation and must be protected at all costs. Geez, sorry, she inserted when Gertrude paused long enough to take a breath. I didn't mean to ruffle your feathers. Through this assignment, you will come to know how vital relationships are. Gracie let out a breath. Okay, you've made your point. When do we start? There's no time like the present. Gracie looked down. Oh, one more thing. I appreciate these clothes, and I'm sure my mom would love them, but... Gertrude let out an impatient huff. I can see that you're going to be a demanding one. Gracie shrugged. What can I say? I may be dead, but that doesn't mean I have to look like crap. You're starting to push my buttons. Gracie gave what she hoped was her best convincing smile. Please, you want me to feel comfortable, don't you? Very well. Gertrude waved a hand. Suddenly, Gracie was wearing one of her favorite outfits, a long black sweater, patterned leggings, and black lace-up boots. She gave Gertrude an appraising look. Wow, I'm impressed. You've obviously done your homework. I always do, she quipped. But she looked pleased, making Gracie suspect that she might be a big softy underneath that stern exterior. Hey, when do I get to do that wave thing? Wave thing? Yeah, making things appear. That's pretty cool. Gertrude chuckled. Oh, give it a millennium or two. You'll get the hang of it. Gracie's face fell. What? How long was she going to have to do this angel thing? Then she saw the mischievous glint in Gertrude's eyes. She pointed. You got me. She lifted her arms in the air and stretched, inhaling deeply. All right, Gertie, what do you say we get this show on the road? It's Gertrude, she countered stiffly. Gracie just laughed. Gracie and Gertie has a nice ring to it, don't you think? Gertrude shook her head and looked up. Why me? Okay, that was the end of chapter 1. Take these glasses off so I feel like I can see you a little better. Okay, Austin has the tally here for the winners. Let's do those. And I saw your comments coming through, but I wasn't able to read them as I was looking at the book. I didn't want to get distracted from that. So I see, oh, here's one from Kathy. What a cute chapter. Thank you, Kathy. You are awesome. Let me see. Oh, Lynette, loved it. Thank you, Lynette. Oh my goodness, Belen. These are awesome. Thank you. Guys, I love your comments. Thank you so much. I just have felt so loved through this and so supported. Thank you so much. Laura says, wouldn't want Gertrude's job. Nope, me neither. Gracie's a handful. Thank you, Cheryl. She said she loved the reading. Chelsea says, wow, you guys are awesome. Thank you. Such a fun beginning from Mara. Thank you, Mara. Oh, this is Genzi. Thank you, Genzi. You guys are awesome. Genzi says that she keeps hoping the books will become movies. Me too. Me too. Janine says, sounds like a great book. Thank you. I'll be reading more chapters. I'm going to read chapter 2 next week. I'm going to read chapter 2 next Thursday. And anyway, I'm just going to keep going until we finish the whole book. So you'll have to stick with me. So let me go ahead and announce the winners here. Austin, let's see. We had the five first ones, didn't we? Okay. So what's this first one? Is that, sorry, I'm reading his writing. Is that?
Way Allen.
Okay. Here are the first 5. And you guys get a copy of Kisses Over Candlelight. So if you don't belong to my newsletter list and I don't have your email address, make sure to put it maybe in the comments or send me a private message. So here are the 5 winners.
Message.
Oh, put it in the message. He says,
Private message.
oh, private message. Yeah, he says do private message.
Jennifer@jenniferyoungblood.com.
Okay, or you can email me at jennifer@jenniferyoungblood.com. So, okay, so here are the winners of the ebook for Kisses Over Candlelight. Way Allen, Lynette Hall, Stephanie Chalet. Did I pronounce that right? Is it? I need my reading glasses again.
Chaves.
Chase?
Oh. Stephanie Chaves.
Stephanie Chaves, okay.
Jay Phillinson.
Jay Phillinson and Jan Tomalis. You guys are the winners of the ebook for Kisses Over Candlelight. So I'll be sure to get that to you. Now, let me announce the other winners. So these are the winners of the $10 Amazon gift card. Amy Benner, Adriana Dove, I'm sorry, I'm pronouncing your name wrong. The winner of Weddings, Lace, and Cake in the Face, this person will receive an ebook copy of that. It's Luann Peeler. And then the ebook copy for Chasing Whispers is Chelsea Walters. So those were all of the winners for this segment, but we'll be having winners for next week also. I love all of your comments. You guys are so awesome. Thank you so much for joining me. And thank you for your wonderful comments and your wonderful support. I was actually really nervous about this. You can tell. I feel a little bit of a relief now to get the first one out of the way. And I will continue to practice my narrating. I wish I could do a little bit better job on the voices, but unfortunately that's my weakness there. But I hope you'll stick with me and come back next week. And I will continue reading this book. And thank you so much for joining me. And if you've won something and I don't have your email address, make sure you send me a private message with that so that I can send it to you. Thanks so much.
Next week at 3.
And we'll be doing this next week, next Thursday, same time, 3 o'clock Mountain Time. So thanks so much. Bye-bye.